What's up, guys? Darren here. Today we're going to be going through the brute room in TryHackMe. We'll be talking about brute forcing with Hydra, log poisoning, utilizing some rules to make some new word list, crack passwords, and Linux privilege escalation. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so we got brute on TryHackMe. We're going to get started with a initial nmap scan. So nmap, IP address, do SV, grab the versions, and run some default scripts. Nmap's running. Let's check this out. You won't be able to just brute your way into this one, or will you? So it's probably implying that we're going to be doing a lot of brute forcing, like the name. Okay, nmap's back. We got FTP, SSH, web, Apache server, and MySQL. So normally I'll take notes of all these. I kind of have everything written down. I went through this room beforehand, full disclosure. We'll start at the top, FTP. It's brute force FTP. Okay. Let's get Hydra going. And take verbose off. Start that. And then we'll go with the SSH. Take verbose off. Start that. I'm just using the top username shortlist.txt. It's part of the seclist package, and then just rock you for the passwords. Server root password 123. No password. No admin nothing. Admin password 123. Nothing. So Nicto scan, see if that pulls back anything. Nicto host IP address, start that. And let's also start a brute force scan on MySQL. And okay, that was fast. So we got login, root, and password rock you. Copy these down real quick. My notes. All right, let's try and log into MySQL now. So MySQL host is 10.10.146.28. Username root, and we want to enter a password. Go rock you, and boom, we're logged in. All right, show databases, if I can spell it right. Databases, we've got information schema, MySQL, performance schema, sys, and website. Let's check out website because that's kind of different. Okay, show tables. We got a users table. All right, so let's dump that users table. Select everything from users, my semicolon. So we got a username Adrian and a password hash. So let's copy that down. Let's go to crack station. It's my go-to password cracker. Not a robot. Crack hashes. Ooh. Unknown, unrecognized hash format. Well, all right. So nothing there. We can't crack the password. We do have a username Adrian. That's good. Let's go back and check the other tables or databases out real quick. Use MySQL. and show tables. Lots of tables. Got a user table, password history. I kind of want to check out password history maybe. Select everything from password history, semicolon, empty set. Okay, let's do dump that user table. Select everything from user, semicolon, that I forget every time. All right, looks like we got some hashes. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you we can't crack any of these hashes. So let's move on. All right, so we have a username Adrian, and that's pretty much all we got from the MySQL service. But we can take that and let's check out this web page. Password 123. No password. Admin, no. Okay. So we know root is for sure a user. Adrian's a user. Let's try and let me actually make a word list for users.text. Let's do root, Adrian, and root. Save that. All right, so let's brute force this web page with Hydra. So I'll kind of go through this command with you real quick. The users.txt file, capital L, users.txt is the file we just made with the root and Adrian usernames. Password file, rocky.txt, threads are going to be at 64. It's our IP address. It is a HTTP post form, which we can see from Burp Suite when we submit a request. I'll show you that real quick. Okay, well, got to turn on the Burp proxy, pass, login. All right, so here's our request, Adrian, password pass, post form. So that's where we get post from. And then this next section is a 3-part section, so it's going to be path, colon to separate to the next section, colon to separate to the next section. So our path is index.php, so we can just put a slash there. Username and password, we get this little section from Burp Suite when we log in. We got our parameters, username and password. Pretty much just copy and paste that, but we need to use user and pass right here, so they pull from our word list. And then the third section is the response the web page gives when we type invalid credentials. And then we should be able to enter, and we should start brute forcing this web page. Let's go check out turn that off. All this other stuff we started earlier. It's our nmap scan. So usually in capture the flags too, if you have to brute force something, it's going to come pretty quick. So this FTP brute force has been going for a while. I really don't think we're going to get anything out of that. I'm just going to cancel that. Let's see what else we got. Our SSH brute force, that's been going for a while. I don't think we're going to get anything out of that. And what else we got? Our Nikto scan. So this is about all Nikto had. config.php may contain database IDs and passwords. So we can definitely go check that out. config.php. So reload this page. And config.php. Just an empty web page, so nothing there. Nikto didn't really give us anything right now. Does not have the HTTP only flag set. So if we run into a cross-site scripting situation, maybe take advantage of that. Other than that, nothing. Oh, okay. So here's our web page brute force. It's our Hydra, and we got Adrian and Tigger. Winnie the Pooh. So copy that, put it in your notes. Adrian and Tigger. Save. Alright, so welcome back, Adrian. Your log file is ready for viewing. Sign out of your account and log. That's all we got. Okay. Wow. So it's a failed. This looks like one of the services we tried to brute force that we failed a lot. So now we need to figure out which one it was. Alright, so let's try and figure out which service this log file for. I can guess it's FTP or SSH. Name, we'll do root on this one. Enter password. Login failed. Alright, exit. SSH Adrian at 10.10.128 146.28 and password. So FTP, we typed in root, SSH typed Adrian. Let's reload this log page. Wow, okay. Alright, so it looks like the last login, root, failed login. So root, we used FTP, so this looks like it's a log file for FTP logins. So let's see what we can do with that. We can try for a PHP reverse shell. Let's go back to FTP. Okay, so this is just a simple PHP reverse shell from Pentest Monkey's website. Got my IP, obviously change it to your IP and port number 443. So go ahead and enter that, password, whatever. And login failed, so exit. And now let's start a netcat listener. And so netcat. Listener 3, so we're listening on port 443 and reload this log file. Wrong one. And we got a shell. www data, it's not very good. Not a good shell. Oh, so what do we got? Okay. So we got all our, let's see what config. If config ends up being anything. Okay. So we've got database username Adrian, password this. Cool. So let's go move on. Okay. cd2 home. Adrian. We got user.text. Permission denied. Punch in. Permission. Okay, let's see. Let's check our permissions. Okay. So we can read reminder. So rules. rules best64 plus exclamation e2 brute. Brute forcing rules pretty much add a lot of extra words. They mix up words in a dictionary attack and make multiple variations of the same words. Let's make a text file of text, real creative. And let's do e2 brute. And we'll save that file.text and do hashcat. So hashcat our file.text with e2 brute, and we're going to set a rule with the R flag. It'll be best64.rule, and we're going to output this new text file as best64.text. Enter. Thinking back on that file, it said best64 plus exclamation, so we can try and add an exclamation point to our word list, and we can do that by 64.text. We can go add an exclamation point to everything, or use a new tool, sed command, which is pretty much a file editor command. So sed, got the -i flag, which is pretty much edit the file that we're going to give it to, s substitute, and that $sign will actually take it to the end of the line, and we're adding in our exclamation point, and we're doing that to the best64.text file. There's enter. Now cat best64.text, and we've got all our exclamation points. All right, now let's try and brute force SSH. Hydra, we got our username Adrian, our password list best64.text, our IP address SSH, and we're going to reduce our task to 4 because SSH always has a problem connecting if you try and send it too many login requests. So, all right, guys, we're back. Looks like Hydra did it for us. We got a login and password, and so let's go ahead and jump into SSH. Get a nice, beautiful shell with Adrian 6. All right, Adrian's file. Look at all this stuff we couldn't look at earlier. So cat punch. Okay, so punched in. Okay. Looks like it's doing punching in at every minute intervals. Let's see what this other one is. .sh shell. Looks like this is running and this is punching it in to the punch_in file, and it's given the date plus the hour and the minute. So let's see what else there is. Oh, all right, our user up text flag. Yay. Okay, so check out the FTP directory and go to the files directory. SLA. And we got notes. That silly admin is such a micromanager, wants me to check in every minute by writing on my punch card. Okay, so that's what that punch in was. Admins want him to check in every minute. He even asked me to write the script for him. Little does he know I am planning my revenge. Okay, what else? We got script here. So let's see what script is. All right, so we got a while loop. It's reading the line. And it's doing, so it looks like it's looping through and reading every line by line and echoing the line of the punch-in file. So it's reading every line of the punch-in file and pretty much echoing it out, so printing it out from here. So if you look at this, he even asked me to write the script for him. So this is probably the script he had to write for his admin. Downloads and so Python. So now we can move on, and we want to do wget again. Get pspy 64s. Okay. Go ahead and make that executable. And run it. Okay, so here we got some interesting stuff. All right, so root is running our check-in.shell file. And it looks like, so root is echoing. Okay, so root's running check-in.shell and echoing everything from the punched in file. So we can probably, we'll have to go check, cancel that, and home, Adrian, less. All right, so let's check out this punch in file. So nano punch in. And let's try and throw a payload in here so if root can echo our payload. First I want to start netcat listener. Let's go 1 2 3 4. Get my payload over here and throw our bash reverse shell in there. Save that file. And let's see if we can catch a shell. All right, guys, our shell just hit. And we're root. You did it. Boom. Boom. All right, guys, so that's it. That was the Brute Room on TryHackMe. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. Thanks.